Cape Rescue. And the author is Darcy Eikenberg, and she's joining us here this morning with some of the biggest mistakes that we make in our professional lives while trying to advance. Good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're doing great, Darcy. So the purpose of the book, Save Your Career Without Leaving Your Job. I think sometimes people think in order to have a career move or to move up, you got to, maybe change careers or change locations. You say that's not necessarily the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's been magnified lately with what we've been calling the Great Resignation. But this was happening long before the pandemic and everything else. It's so many times that when I would work with people, professionals who everything looks good on paper, and they would think, well, something went wrong, and so I just got to go find a new job. But they didn't realize all of the things that they could do right where they are, just as they are, to create change in their own workplace. And so that's what the book is about. And it's the things you can take control back of your career.
Let's talk about a couple examples here, because I think a lot of times, you might have some strong feelings about maybe how things are run. And of course, they were probably run that way before you were there. And so, it's, especially successful companies, that's the way it goes. But you might want to suggest some things. So how can you have those tough conversations without, shooting yourself in the foot?
Yeah, well, Frank, everything really at work is all made up, right? It was all made up at some point. And you made a great point about, you may have come into a situation and things were a certain way, but that doesn't mean that it can't be a different way. And, every job, we think jobs are so intact, but the truth is jobs mold and change based on the person in them. So if the things that you're doing aren't working for what I call your superpower space, the places where you make the biggest contribution, then it's your duty. It's your responsibility to yourself and your career to bring it up and to have those conversations. And it's not about you trying to do something, be something bigger than someone else. It's really all about you trying to make the contribution that fits who you are and what you want from it and the environment that you want to be in. So I just say we got to start the conversation.
Yeah, and building around your strengths. Employers hire you because you're successful at doing something, but then sometimes they just want you to do it their way, but now they're not playing off your strengths. So finding that balance, I imagine, is very important.
And I also think that sometimes we might hire for certain tactical things, but what someone brings is broader than just their strengths, the how they do things, and also what their needs are, what the balance is that they need in their work, or how they want to work in the environment. And all of those things, knowing them about yourself, help you be able to identify them and be able to be clear about asking your employee or your colleagues or others for them.
Yeah, our last minute here or so of the book, again, Red Cape Rescue. You have a chapter called Drop Some Balls. How can we drop anything at work or at home when it all seems important, right?
It all seems important, but I'll tell you the truth. I've worked with hundreds of clients who've come to me and have said, oh, I just feel overwhelmed. But the truth is there's probably 20 to 30% of things that we assume that have to be done that could be pulled back. And these are often things not in our superpower space. They're often meetings and presentations and things like that.
Yeah, as we get back into the workplace, be a good read here. Save Your Career Without Leaving Your Job, the book, Red Cape Rescue. Darcy, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks for having me, Frank.
See you later. Okay, let's check in with